Well, welcome to Seniors on the Move. My name is Billye Thomas, and I will be your host for today's program. Today's topic is life after retirement. It's a privilege for me to introduce to you a young lady whom I have known for decades, yet I haven't seen her in many years. But God in His providence allowed us to reconnect in a deeper and a more profound way. So for the last few years, I have been one of her many cheerleaders, and she has inspired me on my life's journey. So may I introduce to you this afternoon, Miss Sharon Keyes.
Thank you.
So Sharon, could you please introduce yourself to our viewers and give a little background on who you are?
Surely. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure. My name is Sharon Keyes. I've been living in Boston for the last 69 years. My parents are from Caribbean background. My parents were born in Cuba, and my grandparents were from Jamaica. And we are the first family that were born here in the United States of America. And through their diligence and background and upbringing, I've learned a lot of values. And one of the things is to make sure that, one, God is always in your life, and two, is that strive for excellence, no matter who and what you are. I worked in Boston Public Schools for 37 years. Out of those 37 years, 20 years of teaching and 17 years of administration. And presently, as I know you, I attend 12 Baptist Church. I am the chair of the Deaconess Ministry at 12 Baptist Church, which I am very proud of, the Reverend Willie Wideman II, and a part of the Swingers, which we both are involved in.
Absolutely. So we're talking now about life after retirement. So can you talk a little bit about what changes, what you expected after retirement, and what surprised you? Was it what you thought it was going to be like? You know, I know we worked for many years and we're ready to retire, and it's like, I'm retired, I'm free. So explain, how was retirement for you?
The first year, it was great. Second and third year, I've been retired now 9 years. And I have to say, I'm more busier now than I was working in the different activities and things that I've been involved in. The good thing about retirement, you call the shots. You call your time, you make time for yourself. And for me, it's been relaxing. I don't have to hear about the school bells or getting to a conference in the middle of August, have to stop my vacation and so forth. But it's been rewarding, and I've met a lot of people after retirement and doing a lot of networking.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm also a retiree, and it's true. It's not. You sort of expect, oh, I can get up when I want to. I don't have to answer to my supervisors. I don't have to do reports. None of those kinds of things. And some of that's good, you know. And then for me, I found that sometimes it's like, but all my friends are working. All my friends are doing things. I don't want to be watching The View every day, or, you know, whomever, you know. So was anything like that happen to you where you didn't sort of expect, or things that you sort of didn't, that you wanted to tweak, that you didn't quite?
One of the things that I did not expect is 3 years, I would say, the last 3 years, so 9 is 6 years. What I did not expect 3 years ago, and you hear this around, being diagnosed with breast cancer. And that changed a little bit, because, you know, all of my other friends and, you know, heard about it. But for me, that was a shocker, but it also grew my faith. And because we got it on time, caught it on time, that I had to calm my daughter. And I forgot to introduce, I have one daughter, Charlia. And to remind her that we come from a faith-based family, and we're just going to put it in God's hand. And so far, so good. In the last 5 years, I've been cancer-free.
That's wonderful.
And I have been now a testimony for others who have had breast cancer, for me to talk to them and to, you know, more or less support them and be their cheerleader at that particular time. So then I see myself now coming from being an advocate and a spokesman and a cheerleader for those, and let them know that it's not all doom, and know there's life after that, you know, and all different stages, you know, in stages of life. So that kind of refocused me to kind of think how life is so important and the things that you have to do in life. That's
true. Oh, that's a good sentiment. So you've navigated through these changes. Some of the changes were unexpected. So what did you draw from yourself that helped you to navigate through the unexpected changes? Because breast cancer or any kind of illness is unexpected, and you're a young person, and you know, like, this is my new phase in life, so the sky's the limit. So how, when you got this sort of bump in the road that came to you, how were you able to navigate through those changes?
So believe it or not, at that time when I was diagnosed, I was caretaking for someone. So I now had to balance how to take care of that individual that one of our pastors had given me, and also balancing taking care of myself. And it was a little hard, but I worked it out. And, you know, I have a strong faith, and I believe, you know, God doesn't put you into things that you cannot bear and can't understand. And so I was able to balance both. I was not able to do as much as I wanted to, but I was able to take care of me and also take care of her because she didn't have any family. And then, you know, and I also looked at that too, because I have my daughter, I have my siblings and all those who were around there to take care and support my church family and all that kind of thing. And I looked at life a little bit differently too, because I also thought about, what about families, individuals who don't have families, who don't have immediate families around them? How do they navigate? How do they get through this? You know, so you have to, it's very important to support people and to give of yourself. Not, you know, also have to take care of yourself, but also be that person to be able to navigate and be supportive. Also, as my dad used to say, self-preservation is number one. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of someone else. But also, being the person I'm always a giving person, and I got to make that time, because today it's you, it could be someone else. And I always believe in that philosophy that you got to make sure that, you know, you be your sisters and brothers' keeper.
Right, right. So you talked a lot about, you mentioned self-care, and self-care is important. And a lot of people who retire, they kind of, you know, sometimes they're isolated and they're not around other people. And then too, with generations, the younger generations, when they see us, who they consider the older generations, they go and live their lives, and we're sort of sometimes sort of put on the sidelines. So how do you explain how you do self-care and how you get people to recognize you? Well, there are two different questions. Let's talk first about the self-care. Talk to me about how you manifest or how you practice self-care.
First of all, I make sure, one of my rituals, I do devotion in the morning. So I start my day with a prayer for life. And I start that off. And then after that, I make sure I walk, I exercise. Ever since, you know, I was diagnosed, making sure that I'm around that, and also be around positive people and encourage others to be around positive vibes, because that's important of the healing process, and also to have longevity. The other thing is that I travel. This year I haven't done as much traveling, but people that know me, I was on the go. When my mom was alive, it was my daughter, my mom, and myself. So taking time for yourself. You can do stay vacations. You know, you can stay at a hotel for a day, or sometimes I'll go to New York, get on a train, do my thing, come back. That's my art. I make sure that I carve that time. I get teased from other people from my church that they're gonna burn my passport, but that's okay. But in the same realm, you have to do for yourself. You have to love yourself, because if no one does it, you have to do it. And that is something that I make sure that I encourage others. Other people, I know a friend of mine who felt that the whole world was going to come to an end. Volunteer, do different things, be involved in things. I think I'm involved in too many things, but that's okay. Now I'm still here. I'm still, alive and feeling good and doing things and encouraging people. And I always like to encourage others to say, it's not all doom. Volunteer, get involved in some, get into a senior center, but do something, do something. And it's important that you do that, because that stimulates the brain.
Absolutely.
Stimulates the mind, it stimulates how you perceive yourself, and you can't be isolated. I know some people want to do a part-time job. I'm not doing that.
I'm with
you.
Well,
I am not doing that. But my other little jobs, like I do the polls and other little things. But I'm all good.
Okay.
I feel that that's important. That you got to keep busy, keep your mind busy. Just walking or going to the library, just being involved in senior activities. And we have a city that caters to seniors, so there's no excuse for anybody not to be involved. After retirement.
True. So you talked about, let's segue into your many activities, because I know you and I watch you, and I say sometimes, how does Sharon do this? Every time she's involved in this and this and this and that, and I don't know, there's only 24 hours in a day, but you manage to do it. So talk to the audience about some of the things that you are involved with. I don't know, we only have a half hour's time, so I'm not really quite sure.
I'm gonna go through quickly. So
Take your time. Don't go through quickly. We want to know, because you're people are going to look at you and they may want to emulate some of the things that you do. So talk about some of the things that you do.
First of all, I'm involved in my church very heavily. I am the chair of the deaconess at 12 Baptist Church, and I've been the chair for the last 5 years. I've been trying to pass it on, but it doesn't seem like it's happening no time soon. And so we're involved in different activities. My other, within the church, I also am the chair of a ministry that we do in Honduras. We have been in that missions for the last 8 years. We've sent 27 barrels. We have been supporting a orphanage for boys down there under Reverend Solomon Rupert. And we've been doing that, so I'm involved in that. And presently, my Reverend Bodrick has asked me to be a part of the MCI ministry of going over to the facility and ministering to women. So that's my new assignment. And we are going, for the first time, going to do a retreat.
Oh, lovely.
With 4, and including yourself, being a part on November 1st. Nice. And then I'm a part of the Mass Senior Council, Action Council, under the directorship of Carolyn Villas, and I just came back today with a press conference with the mayor, supporting that and advocating for seniors, what we are entitled to, the property tax, all of these cuts that they're making down in Washington, it affects us. Absolutely. And as we have worked our years, we should be entitled to sit back and relax and enjoy the benefit of life. Absolutely. And not to worry about if we have to continue to work after our senior year to keep our homes or to stay in our homes. So I'm also a part of that mission. And then I also am a part of another group called the Golden Girls. We are
television
friends,
Golden Girls.
the Shade of Color Golden Girls.
Oh, nice.
And then we also do philanthropists. We also do once a year we do a oldies and goodie dance,
Oh, nice.
and the proceeds go to a nonprofit organization. So we have done free clinics. We have given gift certificates for seniors for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. We have helped a church in Belize with their building fund, and we're also they're part of. They also worked with us with the orphanage, and this year we're working with a youth group that mentors youth in the city of Boston.
Wow, nice.
So I think I've captured enough.
You captured quite a few things. This is a sort of a different question, but it's all related. Talk about what values that guided some of the decisions that you've made through life, because you've been active in a lot of things, and people sometimes feel, oh, I am retired, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to do nothing. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to do everything for myself. But you have values that allow you to or guide you in ways that you are expanding and sharing your talents with other people.
I think most importantly, the most important thing, we have to pass the legacy for our next generation. And I passed that through my daughter and my nieces and my nephew. I'm very proud of my daughter, Shalia, who has now, she told me, Mom, I am not working for anybody. I am going to work for myself.
Excellent.
And she has her own business called Modern Black Girl. She teaches women of color how to invest in the stock market.
Nice.
And she also is the CEO for a music production that she's involved in, and with one of her classmates that she manages. So my thing is that my time is to pass the baton, to teach our young people that it's important to have your voice heard. It is important to be who you are. I remember when back in high school, my guidance counselor told my parents, don't even think about sending Sharon to go to college because she's not college material, and here I am. And so when I hear that, I infuse that when I was an educator and when I was an administrator, that's important things that we leave for our next generation. It's so important to be yourself. Do not take anything less value of yourself. Be who you are. Be your authentic person who you are. And not everybody has to be college bound. You can be the best electrician, the best plumber. They make more money than we do.
Absolutely. I have an electrician at my house now, so
and take pride of yourself.
Yeah.
Look at yourself. When you step out, you want to be that queen and that prince that people look up to, and feel that my upbringing, my parents were exposed us to everything. You know, I went to camp, I went to music, I was involved in different, activities, and I exposed that same thing for my own child. So it's important to be well-rounded and to be able to facilitate all walks of life, not one narrow path, that you be able to work with everybody and anybody, and never think less of yourself.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a great. So another question I have for you is, what are some of the important life lessons that you use now in this new phase of your life that you call retirement?
Well, I get, back in the day, as girlfriends, we be, looking at these little old ladies, having lunch and doing that stuff. Guess what? Now it's a reversal. It's us, the little old ladies, that having lunch. So we make sure I spend time with my friends.
Yes.
We make luncheon dates. We do things together. Check up on one another, because a lot of us are losing their loved ones. So you make sure that you stay connected. And pray. I can't emphasize that. I'm a
Absolutely.
prayer warrior.
Yes.
You know, that has to be a part of your life, and especially now what is happening around us.
Absolutely.
I think that, and take care of you, pamper you. You know, I do the nails and all that, you know, stuff like that to, you know, pamper myself, have a, you know, take care of me.
Good.
But just take care of yourself.
Great.
Take care of yourself.
So we're coming close to the end of our interview, but one thing, quick answer, what advice would you give to retirees, which I think you have, who are not enjoying themselves? How would you jumpstart someone who's listening today who says, I'm not doing anything? How would you jumpstart them? What encouragement would you give to them?
Make a list of 5 things that you want to do that you haven't done. And those who are preparing for retirement, make sure that you have your accounts, your insurance, all of those in place. Because one thing you want to not go into retirement into debt. And that's something I'm going to emphasize. Make sure you have everything in plan. Medical, your insurance, car, all of those things, have those in line, in place, because you don't want to say, oh my goodness, I didn't have this plan, I didn't make a plan, and guess what? I might have to go out of retirement and work a couple of more years.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you start planning now, even a year or two before you get into that. And make sure you take care of yourself.
Yes.
Exercise, do all the fun things in life. Do the things that you didn't get a chance to do. You know, yes, we're seniors, but we're not dead.
It's true.
Okay, so therefore, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow is not
It's
promised
not
to any of
promised.
us.
That's true. Well, thank you for all of, as I said, I've known you for years. We've reconnected. And one of the things that you exemplify is how seniors should be living. It's a new phase. It's not the end phase. It's a new phase. You know, and I think you inspire a lot of people. I know in the church, outside of the church, just in the community. And I think you're a great mentor for other people coming behind. And I know you're involved with in the church with the seniors. And you know, I know that you encourage people in that as well. So it's been a pleasure, Sharon. We need to do this again.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to spend time with our audience and to educate them on a few things in life after retirement. I want to thank Miss Willie Wideman, who is the president of Seniors on the Move, and she's another person. You two are twins. I can tell you that. The two of you are just twins. I want to thank the staff and the crew of Boston Neighborhood Network, and I want to thank you, the audience, for listening today. And I want you to go out and practice joy.